Oh, it's kind of funny. I'm not gonna lie. Cetro, quote unquote, leaving the Type Soul development team. Now, what I will say before we even get into this is you guys have to be the most gullible community in the world. Not just Type Soul, Roblox anime in general, Robloxians, the most gullible people in the world, and this is just giving me deja vu. Now, for those of you that don't know, Cetro actually came on to the RuneSlayer development team back during RuneSlayer's glory days before the trash update, etc. Now, what Setro did to RuneSlayer was actually quite terrible. He made that PvE game into a PvP game. On top of that, they were nerfing everything based on how it performed in PvP. Nobody gave a fuck about PvP inside of RuneSlayer. It was primarily a PvE game. That's the only reason people enjoyed it, because of the game's PvE. So Cetro coming into the dev team just completely ruined the game for most people, and as you can tell, or well, as it happened, people were upset that Cetro was ruining RuneSlayer, literally gutting things that didn't need to be gutted. I'm not too sure whose decision it was to hire Cetro in the first place. Anyways, Cetro ruined the game, people complained, and the complaints got so big to the point where Cetro had to quote unquote step down. Now, what some people do know but most people don't know is Cetro never actually left the RuneSlayer dev team. He publicly announced that he was stepping down to get people to stop, you know, causing a commotion, to get people to stop flaming and being toxic. Publicly, he announced that he stepped down. However, Cetro didn't actually step down. He was still pulling strings, recommending, buffing and nerfing things behind the scene. Everybody knew this, or everybody that, you know, pays attention to anything in a game's community knew this, and then the rest of the people who just play the game for playing the game most likely didn't know. But Cetro never actually stepped down from the RuneSlayer dev team. He never stepped down. He just de-rolled himself in the Discord server. I don't know how old we are, but you guys do know you don't need roles inside of a Discord server to still work on the game, right? Just want to throw that one out there. So it doesn't actually mean anything that Cetro left the Type Soul Discord server. Cetro quote unquote stepped down, has left, doesn't work on Type Soul anymore. Cetro hasn't quit anything. Cetro is very much 1,000,000% still quote unquote a developer for Type Soul. He definitely still has a percentage. He definitely still has a say on what goes on and still has influence over changes, buffs, and nerfs. Cetro is literally the reason Type Soul is here. Not Dave and Chaotic haven't contributed anything to Type Soul. I just want to throw that one out there. These guys haven't done anything for they literally gave up on the game on OG release. So credit where credit is due. As much as I dislike Cetro booming, Cetro's the only reason Type Soul is even still here today. It was his influence, it was his guidance that got us here today, even if this guy can't produce a good update to save the human race, right? Cool. And you can argue how I know Cetro is still here and how he's still not. Bro, on the same day that he left, he literally said this, not the same time frame, could have been a morning and night transition, but on the same day, earlier that day, he literally said this inside of the tester Discord server. If you were in the tester Discord and you were unrolled, it's because somebody leaked again. If you would like to test, you'll need to sign an NDA. Now, do you honestly think Cetro would cook up an NDA and leave Type Soul on the same day? He would cook up an NDA for the testers and leave Type Soul on the same day. If you genuinely think Cetro is not working on Type Soul anymore, you are stupid. And quite frankly, most of you guys are stupid, unless you're subscribed to me. I don't think there's a stupid AGZ gang member, but majority of the Type Soul community is stupid. Let's keep it a stack. Let's be quite honest. Let's keep it a hundo, right? Cool. If you think Cetro cooked up an NDA for the testers and then left Type Soul on the same day, cool, whatever. GG, I guess. And then he went on to say, otherwise you just won't test. Whenever this is finalized, you'll be notified. Also, this NDA is not a forced thing. You're not obliged to sign it. However, you won't be a tester without it. That guy just gaslighted, manipulated, and kind of blackmailing y'all into signing that NDA. Anyways, It's like, hey, you're not forced to do it, but you're gonna lose your tester role. Y'all being manipulated, gaslit. Anyways, no, it's kind of funny. It's kind of funny. Everybody, I'm hearing some people feel sorry for Cetro. I'm hearing there are a lot of people feeling 50-50, and I'm hearing there's a lot of people who are happy. Now, the people that are happy, you guys are just projecting your negative energy, your hate for Cetro, and I understand that, but you look stupid because Cetro isn't actually gone. He's left the Discord server, but he's not gone. So you're just literally being laughed at by the developers. You're literally just being laughed at by Cetro, and literally they're just laughing. This video will come out and I guarantee you a developer will probably say, don't believe the propaganda, or the information I'm spreading is fake, or there's no backed up information. Roblox developers will say a game's releasing in 2024 and congratulations, it's released in 2027. If you guys still believe words that come out of Roblox developers' mouths, then I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. I'll be so honest. The same, if you guys believe the words of the same developers who shut down the game and for 8 months produced absolutely no content, then I do not know what to tell you. If you guys still take the TypeSoul developers' word for gold, after, I kid you not, this is 2 months max worth of work in this update, and the game was shut down for 8 months. 2 months work max. If you guys believe anything that comes out of the TypeSoul developers' mouths, then GG. No, honestly, then GG. And I also want to show you guys something from Vert's video. Shout out to my king Vert. Now that quote unquote Cetro is gone, right? Whatever his reasoning is, I don't really care. Not Dave is apparently taking over. Some people are saying Not Dave and some other guy. What? Who really gives a fuck? It doesn't matter who's leading TypeSoul. This game is gonna be what it is for the rest of its life. Cool. So Not Dave messaged my boy Vert and he said, can you real quick gather a list of complaints about the game? I'll pass it to the right devs to fix them. That is a red flag. I'm so sorry. Shout out to Dave for trying, right? I guess Dave trying isn't a red flag, but I need you guys to remember the people who actually own this game don't know what's going on with this game. That is a red flag. I'm sorry, that is a red flag. Roblox developers as a whole lately, not all of them, majority of them have been red flagged, right? I'm seeing developers DM me talking about some why do people like and dislike TypeSoul? I've never played TypeSoul, I've never watched Bleach. As a developer, you should know what's going on. As a developer creating a game in the Roblox anime community, you should know what's going on in the Roblox anime community. Do research into the niche you're trying to make a game. First of all, it's literally your job. So if you're not doing research into what's going on in the community, how can you expect to make a game and people to play it? That's just the first thing I have to say. Second thing I have to say is the people who own TypeSoul don't know what's going on in TypeSoul. That's a red flag. You're telling me Dave doesn't know that there are insane amount of bugs in this game that just need to get patched out? Now, yes, he's asking Vert so that he can get a community standpoint on things that need to get fixed. But do we not play our own game? They are the ones who implemented this stuff, released the update, and it's been over a week, and you telling me we don't know what's going on in our game? We don't know what's broken and what's not broken, what needs fixing, what needs tweaks, what needs revamps? Just from keeping their ears to the streets, I'm very sure if any of the developers spend 10 minutes inside of general chat, they'll have a list of things that they should go over. Maybe some of them should actually play the game. I saw Chaotic nerf the Scythe the other day. You're telling me nerfing Scythe was more important than fixing the game's UI issues? Can't even mute music in hell, for crying out loud. You're telling me nerfing Scythe was more important than fixing the UI issues? Scythe was the least of anybody's concerns, by the way. So clearly the developers aren't really sure on what to do or what's going on in their game. Shout out to Chaotic for nerfing Scythe, by the way. That was sarcasm, if you couldn't tell. So Vert gave him a small list. One of them was fixing error when your settings don't load. You can't open any of the buttons at the top left of the screen, like menu settings. Your flash step is also bugged. This happens a lot. This has happened to every single player at least 20 to 50 times if you've played every day this week. So you're telling me as a developer, you haven't loaded up into the game once. You haven't loaded up into the game once to know that this is an issue. Hell music not being muted when you have mute music on. Again, again. This should have been fixed on day one. No. Do not give these guys any grace. This should have been fixed on day one. We are over a week into the game, and you are telling me that they don't know the mute music doesn't work? Seriously. Give me, by the way, can you gather a list of complaints? You should already know half the things on Vert's list. Do you see where I'm coming from here? It's a red flag that the developers don't know what's going on. There are some things inside of the Vert's list that is like, okay, maybe it's just the oversight and they miscalculated, you know, how they meant to know. But especially the first two things, they know. They 1,000,000% know. However, it's been over a week, and the first thing that gets taken care of is Scythe's crit. What is Chaotic even doing in the game? He's just like a background figure that nerfs things that he doesn't like to deal with, I'm assuming. What does he actually do, right? Add a YouTuber friendly doesn't really matter. Make Hell Ring. I mean, I guess that would be great for Ring 1. The 20 hours AFK. Oh my gosh. 20 plus hours AFK. Again, I don't know if this was a Cetro booming decision or not. The 20 hours needs to get, they just need to change it completely. Whose idea was this? I just got my true. By the way, next video is going to be how you can AFK in Hell without raids affecting you. You won't get TP'd out. I'm going to show you guys how to actually AFK in Hell for 24 hours, 25 hours, however long you need to farm, right? But yeah, I'm not even going to read the rest of the list. I'm not going to read the rest of the list because there's no point. Type Soul's doomed. If developers have to go into DMs, if the people who own the game have to go into DMs to ask for a list of things that should already have been fixed within the first couple of days of release, Type Soul's doomed. We're not worried about fixing game-breaking bugs and issues with the actual content expansion, but we're here nerfing Scythe crit, by the way. So that's literally all I have to say. I'm gonna see you guys in the next one. Cetro still works for the game.